Hi, sneak peekers. We're at South by Southwest 2026, and we are on the carpet of Kill Me and about to talk to some of the cast and crew. Come along. We are students at the University of Texas at Austin. Yes, we are sneak peek. First, yes, hook 'em. First of all, you have done so much amazing work across, a variety of genres, especially horror. In our class, every single semester in screenwriting, we have to read the Get Out screenplay. Yes, every single year. Can you just speak about how this kind of blends the two genres, especially talking about something that's so serious?
Yeah, I think there's a few subjects more serious than suicide. However, when I heard, just like with Get Out, when someone was like, it's a thriller horror comedy about race, I was like, I'm in. Because anything that's, I come from Connecticut. People have a lot of trouble talking about race when they don't have to deal with it in their bodies on a regular basis. And putting it outside of the genre of this is a serious movie with serious subjects, although it definitely has serious moments, this one, allowed people to talk about it in a way they hadn't before. And I think my hope is that for anyone, myself included, who has had interaction with suicide in their life, that this is an opportunity to maybe change the conversation a little bit again and just keep it fresh and let people talk about it, because shame only grows when no one's talking about something. And so my hope is that we can just be there for each other, whatever mental health situation we have going on. And I don't know, I love the mixed genre.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, you were an English major?
I was an English major.
Kind of, that's an untraditional path into the entertainment world, I would say. English
major? Yeah. Here's how that happened. Yes, I will explain that. So I was very, very lucky in that my parents I'm a Nepo baby, so there's that. I'm lucky for a gazillion reasons, but a huge one is that my parents were like, we're going to send you to college. Do not start acting yet. And I was like, okay. And they just really wanted me to wait as long as possible. And so they were literally saying, here's an incredible education. We are paying for it. Go, take it. And every actor I asked, I was like, should I be a theater major? Anytime I met an actor, I was like, should I major in theater? And they were like, honestly, I wish I could go back in time and just stuff my brain with as much knowledge that was available to me in the halls of that university and do acting. So because I'm very obedient, I not only listened to my parents, it never occurred to me to disobey them. And maybe I fantasized about it, but I was never going to do it. And then I also did that. I took so many different kinds of classes in every different subject imaginable. And then I was in an improv comedy group that actually performed at UT on tour once. I know, flat, 20 years ago or something. And that was a great combination for me. It has meant that my only training is improv comedy. So I'm doing a little bit of learning on the job as I go. Not to peel back the curtain too much, but I'm learning this shit as I do it. The thing is that's kind of how it goes. Whereas my husband went to acting school and has all the tools he needs, has a craft and all of those things. But I got to study anthropology and archaeology and Wordsworth, and I'm obsessed with Mary Shelley, and before it was a movie recently. And I feel like that has fed me in a way that could keep me full no matter how little I was working. And as an aspiring actor, I assumed I would be working not at all for a very long time. And I just got absurdly lucky.
That's great. I'm taking a French Revolution class right now.
Yes.
Great. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me. Good luck, guys. Enjoy your lives. How fun. They're fun.
Obviously, we know who you are, but could you just introduce yourself for the camera?
Sure. My name is Charlie Longhorn Day, and I'm talking to UT Austin. All right, let's do this.
Let's do it. Obviously, you have so many incredible comedic roles. This is a silly question, but did you have to do a lot of training to get into that, or did you just think comedy is kind of what came naturally to you?
You know what's funny? When I started out, I couldn't book a comedy, and
really?
Yeah, I was only doing these little drama roles, and then but I was always a class clown and a goofball, so I was like, why is no one? And then we made It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and then everything changed.
Of course.
So yeah.
And then you were brought into the project pretty early, November, I want to say 2023. Were you involved in the development? Did you have any how did you work with Peter? What was that like?
I met Peter. I was trying to put a TV show idea together, and I needed a writer who was good with twists and turns. And somebody sent me Peter's script, and it had all these great twists and turns. And the more we started talking about it, the more we said, well, forget the TV show, let's just make this movie. And next thing you know, we were making it, so it was pretty great.
What was the best part of making the movie?
I really enjoyed getting to work with Giancarlo and getting to meet Allison and work with her. I really enjoyed working with Peter, and it's fun to work with a first-time director, especially when they exceed your expectations, and that was exciting. I liked filming in Utah. We shot in Utah, and I'd never spent a lot of time in Salt Lake City in Utah, and it was great. It was a great community there, and
Did you do any skiing?
I didn't do any skiing. It'd be a little bit irresponsible to be like, hey, he broke his leg in the middle of filming. And also, I'm not a good skier, so it would have been a bad choice. And then I liked getting to do something a little more dramatic that was also still funny.
Yeah.
So it was just a lot of fun for me, beginning to end.
And then do you have any advice for student filmmakers or student actors?
Yes. Just make things. Don't wait for anyone to give you permission to make something, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you have all the technology in the world. You have it in your pocket, on your phone. Just start making things, shoot things, create a community of friends who make things. That's what we did with It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's just me and my buddies making a show. And I'm still doing that. I'm still writing things and sending them to friends and saying, hey, Peter and this movie was like, hey, let's just make this. So that's the way it gets done. Nothing comes to you. You got to go out there and go get it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time. Could you give us a hook'em?
A what?
A hook'em? You can.
Well, okay, I have a lot of family, like Ole Miss,
no.
you know.
But it's not.
But I can do it for you guys.
Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Hi.
My name is Mary. We're here with UT Austin Safety.
Oh, amazing.
Yes, and you're Peter.
I'm Peter.
Yes. What was it like directing your first movie? Especially as students, a lot of people are directing for the first time.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was great. It was awesome. I mean, whenever I take on something that I haven't done before, I really sort of lean on my work ethic and ability to study and prepare in the sort of not glamorous way, and that's what I did with this. I worked really hard to get ready to try and do it in a way that was not a huge catastrophe, and I think we got there. But I get it, and I love what you guys are doing. I teach at NYU. I teach grad students. In the screenwriting program. So stay in school, and you can pay off your student loan debt over time. It can be done.
Love a whodunit. This sounds like such an incredible plot. Do you have any inspirations or anything you drew from when making the script and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I would say whodunits were in some ways kind of my first love in storytelling. It's like a genre that I loved ever since I was a kid, and there's so many amazing writers whose books I used to devour, and then when it came to this, I hadn't really gotten to do a whodunit, and I wanted to kind of figure out my version of it, and that's what Kill Me became, was this idea of sort of playing with some of the conventions and tropes of the genre, and then repackage it in a way that could be used kind of as a Trojan horse for a more meaningful conversation around depression and suicidality.
So then kind of going off that, what do you want people to take away? When they walk away from seeing this movie, what do you want them to be thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I want people to have a really good time. I want people to have a really good night at the movies. And then I think my hope was always that the movie would feel like it was way more fun than any movie about depression has any right to be, and then way more painful and honest than a really fun murder mystery, in terms of what you were kind of expecting. And, there's a big twist in this movie that I think gives people a lot to debate when they leave the movie theater. So
excited to see it. And then finally, do you have any advice for student filmmakers? Our question we ask everyone.
Oh my God, how much time do you have? I have so much advice. I mean, the thing about it is, especially when you're starting out, it is okay to be fairly conservative in your ambitions. Meaning, if you're trying to make a movie with a limited budget, you want to shoot well below that and then make the sort of most luxe version of that movie. Sometimes you can spread yourself too thin, but prepare, work hard, lean on others, accept their advice, and 99 times out of 100 when people have notes for you, it's for a very good reason and you should listen. But one time out of 100, you're eventually going to have to go, I think everyone in the world is fucking crazy and I'm right about this, and you have to stick by those guns. And it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, you have to do it. And you have to kind of champion your own vision. This movie was a long road for me. I took it out as a TV pilot that no one bought. My agents told me they thought it should be a play. And then you go make a movie, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, we always knew it was going to be an incredible movie. So you got to believe in your project, and, yeah. And then you get to go do shit like this.
Yes. Well, I hope you have a great time in Austin and enjoy, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yes, of course.
See you guys.
My name is Mary. I'm with Sneak Peek with UT Austin. We're all students. And I just want to say, first, you look gorgeous. And could you just introduce yourself and kind of your role on the project?
Yeah, I'm Natalie Metzger, and I'm one of the producers on Kill Me.
As an aspiring producer, and producer can mean so many different things. So, like, what was your role? What were kind of the things you were involved in? Pre-production, production, whatever.
Yeah, I did everything from soup to nuts. So I got the script really early on from Peter, and then it actually circled back to me many years later, which was awesome. But yeah, I was boots on the ground, so helped hire a crew, did the budget, was there every day at Monitor, helped give notes on rough cuts, and now helping with festivals and distribution and all of that fun stuff.
What would you say was like your biggest challenge with the project, if anything?
The biggest challenge? It's a good question. No, actually, I honestly feel like we were so lucky. We shot in Utah. We had an amazing crew. We had an amazing cast. I actually feel like it was originally written for New York City, and so we had to like adjust it a little bit to fit Salt Lake City, where we ended up filming. But no, it was like a pretty wonderful shoot, and Peter is an incredible director, and he was able to. Whatever challenges came up, he was able to pivot and adjust and, creatively problem solve and made it even better than it was initially thought before. So, yeah.
And then any advice to aspiring filmmakers like us?
I would say polite perseverance is the best way. So don't take no for an answer. Continue to follow up, continue to try. Obviously politely, don't force, but polite perseverance.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a great night. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more South by Southwest content, please check out our channel.